You are listening to The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, narrated by Litnarrate. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. This book will show you exactly how to get it. Let's begin. Chapter I. The Right to be Rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them with. A man develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of things, and society is so organized that man must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all advancement for man must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is development, and everything that lives has an inalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. Man's right to life means his right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things which may be necessary to his fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment, or in other words, his right to be rich. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or contented with a little. No man ought to be satisfied with a little if he is capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfoldment of life, and every man should have all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. To be content with less is sinful. The man who owns all he wants for the living of all the life he is capable of living is rich, and no man who has not plenty of money can have all he wants. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. Every person naturally wants to become all that they are capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. We cannot help wanting to be all that we can be. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. You can become what you want to be only by making use of things, and you can have the free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. There is nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life, and that desire is praiseworthy. The man who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal. And so the man who does not desire to have money enough to buy all he wants is abnormal. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body, we live for the mind, we live for the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. All are alike desirable, and no one of the three, body, mind, or soul, can live fully if either of the others is cut short of full life and expression. Man cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, and warm shelter, and without freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to his physical life. He cannot live fully in mind without books and time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in soul, man must have love, and love is denied expression by poverty. A man's highest happiness is found in the bestowal of benefits on those he loves. Love finds its most natural and spontaneous expression in giving. The man who has nothing to give cannot fill his place as a husband or father, as a citizen, or as a man. It is in the use of material things that a man finds full life for his body, develops his mind, and unfolds his soul. It is therefore of supreme importance to him that he should be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. Chapter 2. There is a science of getting rich. There is a science of getting rich, and it is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches, and once these laws are learned and obeyed by anyone, that person will get rich with mathematical certainty. The ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way, and those who do things in this certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich, while those who do not do things in this certain way, no matter how hard they work or how able they are, remain poor. Getting rich is not a matter of environment, for if it were, all the people in certain neighborhoods would become wealthy. The people of one city would all be rich, while those of other towns would all be poor. But everywhere we see rich and poor living side by side in the same environment and often engaged in the same occupations. When two men are in the same locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment. And further, the ability to do things in this certain way is not due solely to the possession of talent, for many people who have great talent remain poor, while others who have very little talent get rich. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess talents which others do not have, but because they happen to do things in a certain way. Getting rich is not the result of saving or thrift. Many very penurious people are poor, while free spenders often get rich. From all these things, we must come to the conclusion that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. There are various ways of doing things, and the following cases will illustrate the different ways. A man may be a carpenter and work in a certain way. He may not work in the most efficient way, and yet he may get a living. If he works in the most efficient way possible, he will get a very comfortable living, and may even become rich. This is true in all departments of human activity. The man who does things in the most effective way, the way which is in accordance with the laws of his being, will succeed, and the man who does things in a less effective way will fail. The difference between the two ways is the difference between science and ignorance. The man who knows the science of getting rich will get rich. The man who does not know it will remain poor. Now, the science of getting rich is a natural science. It is governed by laws which are as immutable as the laws of gravity, and which operate in the same unvarying manner. The science of getting rich is not an occult science. It is not a mysterious something that only a few can understand. It is a science that is as simple and as easily understood as the science of arithmetic. Chapter 3. Is opportunity monopolized? No man is kept poor because opportunity has been taken away from him, because other people have monopolized the wealth and have put a fence around it. You may be shut off from engaging in business in certain lines, but there are other channels open to you. The rich have not monopolized the opportunity for getting rich any more than they have monopolized the opportunities for breathing. The opportunity for getting rich is as universal as the air we breathe, and it is as free to you as to anyone else. There is plenty of wealth in the world for all, and it is constantly being created. The supply is inexhaustible, and it is not dependent on the amount of money in circulation. The earth is filled with an abundance of things which are necessary or desirable for the sustenance and happiness of mankind, and the supply is more than sufficient for all. If all the people in the world were to become rich, there would still be plenty of wealth left over. Nature is not a miser. She is a generous giver, and she has provided an abundance for all. The trouble is that people do not know how to take possession of the things which nature has provided for them. They do not know the science of getting rich, and that is why there is so much poverty in the world. The rich are not your enemies. They are not keeping you from getting rich. The rich are simply people who have learned the science of getting rich and have put it into practice. You can do the same thing. It is not true that you must take something from someone else in order to get rich. The world is not a fixed quantity of wealth from which one man's gain must be another man's loss. The world is a constantly increasing quantity of wealth. The man who gets rich by creation, not by competition, is not taking anything from anyone else. He is creating new wealth and is adding to the sum total of the world's riches. The science of getting rich is not a competitive science. It is a creative science. It is the science of bringing things into existence by the power of thought, and it is open to everyone. Chapter 4. The first principle in the science of getting rich. Thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from the formless substance. The formless substance is the raw material from which all things are made. It is the universal substance from which all things proceed. Thought is the power which shapes this substance into the forms of things. The universe is made of one substance, and that substance is intelligent. It is alive, and it is responsive to thought. It takes the form of the thought which is impressed upon it. A thought of a thing held steadily in the mind will cause that thing to be produced in the formless substance. This is the first principle in the science of getting rich. You must think in a certain way. You cannot get rich by merely wishing or hoping. You must think in a definite and positive way. You must form a clear mental picture of what you want, and you must hold that picture in your mind with unwavering faith and purpose. The mental picture must be a clear and distinct image of the thing you desire. You must see it in your mind as you would see it if it were already in your possession. You must see yourself in possession of the thing, using it, enjoying it. The first step in the science of getting rich is to form a clear mental image of what you want. You must decide what you want, and you must be specific about it. You cannot get rich by wanting a lot of money or a comfortable living. You must want a definite amount of money or a definite thing, and you must see it clearly in your mind. The mental image is the mold into which the formless substance will flow. If you hold a clear and definite picture in your mind, the formless substance will take that form and produce the thing for you. If you hold a vague and indefinite picture, the formless substance will produce a vague and indefinite result. You must be specific. You must know what you want. Chapter V, Increasing Life. You must get rid of the thought that the world is a fixed quantity and that there is not enough to go around. The world is not a fixed quantity. It is a constantly increasing quantity. The supply of wealth is not limited, it is unlimited. The idea that there is not enough to go around is the root of all poverty. It is the cause of competition, of greed, and of war. It is a false idea, and it must be eliminated from your mind. The science of getting rich is the science of taking possession of the things which nature has provided. It is the science of knowing how to use the power of thought to bring these things into your possession. You must not think of poverty as a necessary condition of life. Poverty is not a necessary condition. It is an abnormal condition. It is a condition that exists only because men do not know how to get rich. You must think of wealth as the normal condition of life. You must think of yourself as a person who is entitled to wealth and who is capable of getting it. You must have faith in yourself and in your ability to get rich. You must have faith in the power of your thought to bring things to you. Chapter 5, How Riches Come to You. When you have formed a clear mental picture of what you want and have held it with faith and purpose, you must then begin to act in a certain way. You must act as if the thing were already yours. This does not mean that you should act foolishly or extravagantly. It means that you should act with the confidence and assurance of one who knows that he is going to get what he wants. For example, if you want a new house, you must not wait until you have the money to buy it before you begin to plan for it. You must begin to plan for it now. You must also be prepared to receive the thing when it comes. You must make room for it in your life. You must be ready to accept it. You must not be afraid to receive it. The thing will come to you in the most natural way. It will come through the ordinary channels of life. It will come through people, through circumstances, through events. You must be alert to the opportunities that come to you, and you must be ready to take advantage of them. You must not let any opportunity pass you by. The thing will come to you in the exact form that you have visualized, or in a form that is even better than the one you visualized. The formless substance will not fail you. Chapter 7. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It is a force that attracts good things to you. It is a force that opens up the channels of abundance. When you are grateful for what you have, you are acknowledging that there is a source of supply and that you are receiving from it. This acknowledgement puts you in touch with the source and opens the way for more to come to you. When you are ungrateful, you are denying the source of supply. This cuts you off from the source and prevents you from receiving more. Gratitude is the key to abundance. It is the key to the doors of wealth. It is the key to the treasures of the universe. You must cultivate the habit of gratitude. You must be grateful for everything you have, no matter how small it may seem. You must also be grateful for the things that are coming to you. You must be grateful for them in advance. You must give thanks for them as if you had already received them. When you are grateful, you are in a state of mind that is receptive to more. You are open to receive. You are in harmony with the forces of abundance. Therefore, cultivate gratitude. Make it a part of your daily life. Thank God for everything you have and thank Him for everything that is coming to you. Chapter 8. Thinking in a certain way. You must think in a certain way. You must think in the way that is in accordance with the nature of things. You must think in the way that will bring you what you want. The certain way of thinking is the way of faith and purpose. It is the way of positive thinking. It is the way of thinking that expects good things to happen. You must not think about poverty. You must not think about lack. You must not think about failure. These thoughts are negative, and they will bring negative results. You must think about wealth. You must think about abundance. You must think about success. These thoughts are positive, and they will bring positive results. The thoughts you hold in your mind are the things you are creating. If you hold thoughts of poverty, you are creating poverty. If you hold thoughts of wealth, you are creating wealth. It is as simple as that. You must think about yourself as a person who is getting rich. You must think about yourself as a person who is successful. You must think about yourself as a person who is happy and prosperous. This is the certain way of thinking. It is the way that leads to wealth. It is the way that leads to success. It is the way that leads to happiness. Chapter 9. How to use the will. The will is a powerful instrument. It is the instrument of your mind. It is the instrument by which you hold your thoughts in place. You must use your will to keep your mind on the right track. You must use your will to hold your thoughts of wealth. You must use your will to keep your mental picture clear and steady. You must not use your will to force things to happen. You must not use your will to coerce other people. You must use your will only on yourself. The universe is friendly to you. It wants you to be rich. It wants you to be happy. It wants you to be successful. All you have to do is to put yourself in harmony with it, and it will bring you what you want. Your will is the instrument by which you put yourself in harmony with the universe. You use your will to think the right thoughts and to do the right things. Chapter X. Further use of the will. You must use your will to keep your mind fixed on your mental picture of wealth. You must use your will to shut out all thoughts of poverty, doubt, and fear. When a negative thought comes into your mind, do not fight it. Simply turn your attention away from it and fix your mind on your mental picture of wealth. The more you practice this, the easier it will become. Eventually, you will reach a point where your mind is always filled with positive thoughts. You must also use your will to act in the right way. You must be willing to do the work that is necessary to achieve your goal. You must be willing to make the effort. You must be willing to pay the price. The will is the power of persistence. It is the power that keeps you going when things are difficult. It is the power that enables you to overcome obstacles. Therefore, use your will to persist. Do not give up. Do not quit. Persist until you achieve your goal. Chapter 11. Acting in a certain way. Thought is the first step in the science of getting rich. Action is the second step. You must act in the certain way. You must do the things that are necessary to bring your mental picture into reality. You cannot get rich by thought alone. You must act. The action you take must be in harmony with your thoughts. You must act as if you were already rich. When you act in this way, you are putting yourself in the position of a rich person. You are creating the conditions that will attract wealth to you. You must take the opportunities that come to you. You must be ready to act when the time comes. You must not hesitate. You must act with courage and confidence. You must be efficient in your actions. You must do the most important things first. You must not allow yourself to be distracted by trivial matters. Efficient action is the key to success. The man who does the right things and does them in the right way will succeed. Chapter 12. Efficient action. Efficient action is action that is directed toward a specific goal. It is action that is done in the most effective way. It is action that produces the best results with the least expenditure of time and energy. The first step in efficient action is to decide what you want. You must have a clear and definite goal. The second step is to plan the best way to achieve your goal. The third step is to execute your plan. You must take action. You must be persistent and determined. You must also be flexible. You must be willing to change your plan if it is not working. You must be willing to adapt to changing circumstances. The man who is efficient in his actions will always succeed. He will get rich. He will achieve his goals. Therefore, be efficient in your actions. Focus on your goal. Plan your work. Work your plan. Be persistent. Be flexible. Be productive. Chapter 13. Getting into the right business. The right business is the business that is in harmony with your own nature. It is the business that you enjoy doing. It is the business that you are good at. If you are in the wrong business, you will never be really successful. You may make a living, but you will never make a fortune. You will never be truly happy. You must find the work that you love to do. You must find the work that you are passionate about. When you find the right business, you will be successful. Your work will be a joy to you. You will put your heart into it. You will do it well. The right business is also the business that is needed by the world. It is the business that provides a service or a product that people want. You must not try to get rich by doing something that is harmful to others. You must get rich by creating value. The more value you create, the more wealth you will accumulate. The world will reward you for the value you create. It will give you wealth in proportion to the value you contribute. Therefore, get into the right business. Find the work that you love to do, that you are good at, and that is needed by the world then. Put your heart into it. Create value, you will get rich. Chapter 14. The Impression of Increase. You must make the impression of increase on the formless substance. You must think of yourself as a person who is increasing in wealth. You must see yourself as a person who is growing richer all the time. The formless substance is responsive to your thought. It takes the form of the thought you hold. If you hold the thought of increase, the formless substance will produce increase for you. You must not think of yourself as a person who is getting by. You must think of yourself as a person who is getting rich. You must think of yourself as a person who is increasing in wealth. You must hold this thought of increase constantly in your mind. You must hold it with faith and purpose. You must believe that you are going to increase. Increase is what all men and women are seeking. It is the urge of the formless intelligence within them, seeking fuller expression. All human activities are based on this desire for increase. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure. Increase in something, more life. In following the certain way, you are getting continuous increase for yourself, and you are giving it to all with whom you deal. You are a creative center from which increase is given off to all. No matter how small the transaction, put into it the thought of increase and make sure the customer is impressed with the thought. Feel that you are getting rich and that in so doing you are making others rich and conferring benefits on all. Do not boast or brag of your success. Simply feel the faith and let it work out in every transaction. Words will not be necessary to communicate this feeling to others. They will feel the sense of increase when in your presence. But beware of the insidious temptation to seek power over other men. The mind that seeks mastery over others is the competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not the creative one. No better statement of the principle of creative action can be formulated than this. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. Chapter Fiend, The Advancing Man. What has been said of business applies just as well to the professional man and the wage earner. No matter whether you are a physician, a teacher, or in any other field, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you, and you will get rich. The wage earner will find this just as true of his case as of any other. Do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are working where there seems no visible opportunity for advancement. Form your clear mental vision of what you want and begin to act with faith and purpose. Do all the work you can do every day and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place, who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, and who is determined to become it. Hold the faith and purpose of increase during work hours, after work hours, and before work hours, so that everyone who comes in contact with you feels the sense of advancement radiating from you. There is nothing in your circumstances that can keep you down if you begin to move in the certain way. Such opportunities will speedily come, for the Supreme, working in all and working for you, will bring them before you. There is no lack of opportunity for the man who is living the advancing life. Chapter 16, Some Cautions and Concluding Observations. Many people will scoff at the idea that there is an exact science of getting rich, insisting that social and governmental institutions must change before ordinary people can prosper. But this is not true. If the masses begin to move forward with the advancing mind and the fixed purpose to become rich, nothing can possibly keep them in poverty. The more people who get rich by creation rather than competition, the better for everyone. Do not read pessimistic or conflicting literature, or get drawn into arguments on the subject. Spend most of your leisure time contemplating your vision and cultivating gratitude. Do not hesitate or waver for fear that you will fail for lack of ability. Keep moving forward, and when the moment comes, the ability you need will be there. No possible combination of circumstances can defeat a man or woman who is proceeding along strictly scientific lines. No one who obeys the law can fail to get rich, any more than one can multiply 2 by 2 and fail to get 4. Give no anxious thought to possible disasters, obstacles, panics, or unfavorable turns of circumstance. It is only when such things arrive that you need concern yourself with them, and you will find that each emergency brings with it the power needed to meet it. Watch your words and thoughts in every transaction and in every event of the day. Whenever you find yourself thinking or speaking in terms of failure, doubt, or disappointment, stop at once and correct your inner picture. Never allow yourself to think of poverty, want, or loss. Never speak of hard times or poor business conditions. The times may be hard and business may be dull for those who move on the competitive plane, but never for you. Chapter 17. Summary of the Science of Getting Rich. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Otherwise, he cannot be in harmony with the formless intelligence, which is always creative and never competitive in spirit. Man may come into full harmony with the formless substance by entertaining a lively and sincere gratitude for the blessings it bestows upon him. Gratitude unifies the mind of man with the intelligence of substance so that man's thoughts are received by the formless. Man must form a clear and definite mental image of the things he wishes to have, to do, or to become, and he must hold this mental image in his thoughts while being deeply grateful that all his desires are being granted to him. The man who wishes to get rich must spend his leisure hours contemplating his vision and in earnest thanksgiving that the reality is being given to him. Man must also mix action with this contemplation. He must give every person he deals with a use value greater than the cash value he receives, so that every transaction adds to the life of the world, and he must hold the thought of increase, so that the impression of advancement is communicated to everyone he meets. Men and women who practice these instructions will certainly get rich, and the riches they receive will be in exact proportion to the definiteness of their vision, the fixity of their purpose, the steadiness of their faith, and the depth of their gratitude. Thank you for listening to this Litnarrate production. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please subscribe for more classic literature and philosophy brought to life through narration.